Have you ever wondered how many different ways you can use just one snowflake background? You're going to love how easy these ideas are, and I'm going to turn these backgrounds into 5 different holiday cards to inspire you. Today I'm using Snowfall Shimmer, but don't worry, I'm also going to walk you through how to get a similar look using supplies that you probably already have in your stash. My first idea today is a really simple one, and it's a great go-to for a very quick background that's not too overwhelming on a card design. I'm going to be doing a tone on tone. So that simply means stamping the same tone of ink onto a similar color of cardstock. And make sure that you've chosen a darker color ink in the same shade as the cardstock you've chosen, so that you're going to be able to see it in the background. And it's a great way to give you that added extra visual interest in a background. So that brings me to technique number 2 now, which is an inked ombre background. This is very similar, but it gives a totally different look because we're using multiple colors in one stamping. Now I've chosen 4 colors from the same family here, and I'm working my way down the image with these colors, starting from the lightest and working to the darkest. That way I won't accidentally cross-contaminate my ink pads with the darker color on a lighter ink pad, but it also gives me the opportunity to overlap the colors a little bit and get that blended look between the colors. And I did stamp this on white cardstock so that you get that real visual ombre look. And the lightest color didn't show up very well, but that doesn't matter. And you'll see how I fix that when we make the card very soon. And stick around because I've got a bonus technique that I'm going to be sharing with you using this plate. We're on to our third idea now. And this time, because I'm using a better press plate here, gives us the opportunity to do some foiling. And these plates foil beautifully. I've got a really pretty pastel teal blue color, and I'm foiling it onto some white cardstock. This is a great way to add a little bit of shine, especially works well when you're talking snowflakes. It gives a really pretty subtle background because it is that light pastel color, but obviously this would look great in a metallic foil as well. My next background is very similar. We're going to be doing some foiling again. This time I'm using acetate. Now I would recommend using a heavyweight heat resistant acetate, and I just love the look of these snowflakes through the clear window of acetate. It's a really fine, intricate design. And I'm wondering if you can guess what I'm going to make with this acetate panel. So we're already on to our 4th idea now. I hope you didn't throw away those reverse images of the foiling because they can be laminated onto some toner sheets. Now I have a white toner sheet here, so that's going to give me that white snowflake background, but there are many colors available, including black. And if you do want, you can actually run them through the foiling with another color of foil as well, a second time, to add a color to the actual snowflakes. So yes, you can use hot foil in a laminator on a toner sheet. And there's no waste. I love that. I did promise that we're going to make these into some cards, and I'm also going to give you some tips on how you can create similar cards if you don't have a press plate. To start with, the tone-on-tone background can easily be recreated using a snowflake background stamp. So you could easily just use the same color cardstock, a darker color ink, and stamp the tone-on-tone. Or alternatively, if you have single snowflake stamps, you can stamp out your own background tone-on-tone. I would recommend using different sizes of snowflakes if you've got them, and make sure that you stamp so that the snowflake is carried off the edge of the pattern, like on the panel that you created. It makes it look more like a piece of design paper that you have in the background. I love that the tone on tone does not overwhelm a card, but it adds that extra special something to a design. So we're onto the ombre style panel now, and similarly you can recreate this using stamps, but if you have a snowflake background stencil, then you could also recreate this using the stencil. So you can easily ink blend a stencil in 3 or 4 different colors and blend them in between the colors. You can use just one shade of color, like 3 or 4 different colors in the same family like I did here, or use a couple of different colors and blend them together to create a third color, or go all out and you can even do a rainbow. And you might notice that I did cover up my misstamping here by adding a couple of snow hills. So there are ways that you can save a design if it doesn't work out perfectly. And I think that these polar bears team perfectly with the snowflakes in the background. How cute are they? I love that you can dress them up. Okay, so you want to recreate a snowflake foiled background and you don't have a press plate, then I would recommend using heat embossing. You're going to get a very similar look, and you can use metallic golds or silver. If you've got colored embossing powders, then you can use those. If you don't have the exact color that you want, you can simply stamp in a dye ink of the color that you want, use a stamp positioner and re-stamp over the same image a second time with some Versamark ink and add some clear embossing powder. And that way you can use whatever color ink you have in your stash and have it look like it's been heat embossed. When it comes to the reverse foiled look, I would start with a metallic cardstock. So it is easy enough to find a silver or gold, bronze, any of those sorts of colors, but you can also get colored metallic cardstocks or shiny cardstocks. I would heat emboss snowflake images in white, but I would definitely be using a stamp positioning tool because these slick surfaces can be a little bit persnickety to stamp on. So if you've got a positioning tool, then it's going to make your job much easier to get that look. And speaking of the look, I wasn't happy with how I'd lined up my polar bear. He just looked like he was hovering in air. So I did come in and do some surgery to my card and added an extra hill, which I much preferred. Sometimes I just look at something and I can't live with it. I just have to fix it. Let me know if you're the same. And I did promise you a bonus idea. I'm going to blind letterpress this panel of cardstock. All that means is that I am running it through my die cutting machine to add an impression, but I haven't added any ink. So you can see there's a very subtle impression of those snowflakes on the cardstock. If you don't have this plate and you want a similar look, I would actually do a stamped snowflake background using a watermark ink. You're not going to get the indentation of the actual snowflakes, but you will get that subtle look of the snowflakes on the panel. And yes, did you guess? Did you guess what I was going to do with this acetate panel? I'm sure you did. Of course, I had to make it into a shaker. So these snowflakes on the acetate panel are fairly intricate, so they are a bit hard to see in the video here, but in real life you can see them, and they do add that something special to this card design, especially with that added subtle texture in the border panel as well. But I couldn't leave it there. I had to come in and add some white splatters to the border, but I did protect the acetate with the die cut center that I removed from the original panel. I added some more polar bears to this design and used one more of the sentiments. Like being able to stamp and die cut multiple sentiments at once makes it so easy. I was able to use Most of the sentiments are from this set today, just on these cards. And because these sentiments are also a press plate, I could have also foiled with them, which would have looked really pretty. So all together now, I'm going to share all 6 backgrounds and the cards with you, starting with the first technique, which was to stamp tone on tone. The second card is that ombre inking, where we've got multiple tones of the same shade. Then we did some really simple foiling. And of course we didn't want to waste the leftover foil, so we used some white toner sheet to add that leftover foil to. And my final card, which is the shaker card, we've used the foiling on the acetate, but also did that bonus technique of the blind letterpress with no ink, just to add that impression to the border panel. I'd love to know if you have a favorite card today, or if you're going to try any of these techniques. Let me know in the comments below. And I've got 2 more videos here for you to enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you there. If you did like today's video, don't forget to click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? It's totally free. I look forward to seeing you back here again real soon. Till then, happy paper crafting. Bye.